Maven Inspired. Thank you so much for visiting our channel today. Much appreciated. If this is your first time, make sure you hit the subscribe button and notifications button for updates for our videos. This channel is all things self-care, self-help, and a few laughs in between. And we also post every Sunday, so look out for those. Well, today we are talking about goal setting. 2021 is coming up really fast, so we want to go ahead and jump into 2021 with all of our goals already set. We're going to talk through different tips, things to look out for. I'm excited to get started, so stay tuned. Alright, so let's dive into goal setting. To be honest, goal setting really does motivate me. Like, it gets me super excited when I set new goals and I just go for it. I know that with a lot of people, it causes anxiety. So I don't want to cause anyone anxiety. So definitely make sure to pace yourself and go at your pace when it comes to goal setting and setting goals for your life. These are all things that you can use at any point of life. You can use little tidbits, little pieces, or use all of the information that I give you. But just know that with this, you can definitely pace yourself, okay? So when it comes to goal setting, there are several reasons why to do this. One being so you can decide what you want to achieve in life. It separates what's most important from what's irrelevant or a distraction. It just builds your motivation in general. And also it helps to build self-confidence, especially when you actually achieve the goals that you have set for yourself. So those are just reasons why to go ahead and start your goal setting. So number one, take into consideration where you currently are and where you would want to be, and make sure to write it all out. Make sure that you paint a very clear picture of what you want, and look at all areas of life. I know with goal setting, a lot of times people just think of their career, but setting goals for every aspect of life definitely will help across the board. So looking at your career first, but also looking at financial goals, looking at your spiritual and emotional goals, your mental health goals, looking at family goals or goals just for pleasure, whether it be like travel or just athleticism or physical goals. Those are all goals that you can actually write down and really strive to work at. So right now, just to kind of even speak on myself, I'm really focusing on my finances, my career, and my physical goals. I'm trying to lose weight. Like, I have a lot of things that I'm trying to do, like physically, to get myself stronger, because I feel like I'm so weak. I hate not being able to open up a jar. Like, it's so annoying. So I have physical goals as well. And then also, of course, my emotional and mental health. Those are definitely, areas that I'm looking at and focusing on the most right now. So number two, gather information. Do your research. If it's something that you really, really want, you would take the time to really research and dig into whatever it is, whether it's a specific industry that you're looking to go into, whether it's like a physical goal, as far as like losing weight, or if it's something with your finances and you really are trying to dig into your credit score. Like, you're going to do your research. So make sure you really do get as much information as you can and dig in and figure those things out by just seeking out people that are in the industry, seeking out videos, podcasts, articles, just Google searching the heck out of it. Like, just dig into it as much as possible, because it's really going to be very hard for you to set action items for a goal in an industry that you really don't know much about. So if you're really struggling in your finances, a lot of it may be because of the fact that you're not educating yourself in that area. So making sure to educate yourself in that area, so that way it's easier for you to set these action items for this particular goal. So yeah, definitely make sure you do your research. Seek God for guidance and for wisdom and for direction. Then also to use your own resources. If you have people that are around you that are educated in the subject matter, definitely pick their brains and reach out to them. If there is no one that you know, that's where you kind of go back and research and look to see if there's anyone that you can follow on Instagram or that you can follow on Facebook or YouTube or whatever that has the vast knowledge that you're looking for, and immerse yourself in their content. So that way you can learn as much as you can on a consistent basis, and it's in your face consistently, whether it be, like I said, if you're following someone on Instagram or Facebook, they're always in your timeline. Look at their live videos. Definitely try your best to immerse yourself in information. Be a sponge and soak it all up. I don't know if that sounds right. That could sound really weird, but whatever. Whatever. Anyway, number 3, have a real plan and structure in place. So this is where the real planning comes in. You took the time to really dream and brainstorm on what you want. You took the time to really research and dig in and find more information. Now it's time to really plan. Put together a valid plan. Write it all down so that way you can come back to it. And write down these goals as short-term, long-term, and lifetime goals. So, for example, a short-term goal would be, I want to save $600 in 3 months. Your long-term goal could be, I want to save $10,000 in 5 years. And then your lifetime goal would be, I want to save $300,000 in my retirement by this specific year. So that way you have small attainable goals, but then you have your lifetime goal that's going to help you when you get to that 60, 70, when you get older. And guys, I'm going to tell you this right now. If you're my age, I'm 30, I'll be 34. I'll be 34, Lord. So if you're my age, don't count on Social Security by the time we hit 65, 70. Like, don't count on it. Save as much as you can, because I don't expect there to be anything left. I really don't. So save as if Social Security doesn't even exist. And if it still exists at that time, then blessings to us. Okay? So yeah, so make sure to set your goals short-term, long-term, lifetime, okay? So I don't know if you remember this from college or school, but the acronym of SMART helps you to remember the best ways to set your attainable goals. So I'm going to run through those. If you don't remember, it's okay. Here's a refresher. It's that critical thinking class from college. I hated that class, but hey, that's what this is from. So SMART. So S is for being specific. So just making sure that you're super specific in the goal that you're trying to set for yourself. So if we go back to the financial scenario, so you have a goal of, I want to save $1,000. Okay, great goal. So a more specific goal would be, I want to save $1,000 by March to purchase a car in April. That's very specific. It has an action item behind it, so that way it gives you the motivation to actually meet that goal. If you just say that you want to save $1,000 just for the hell of it, then you most likely won't meet that goal because there's nothing kind of motivating you to get there. So make sure to be specific. Make sure to have some type of action item behind it to give you that motivation to meet that goal. M would be making sure that it's measurable, giving yourself some type of metric to meet. So that way it gives you more, that way it gives you more motivation to meet that goal. So metric would be like you giving you that timeline of $1,000 by March instead of just saying, oh, I want to save $1,000 next year. Being specific to at least a month. You can give yourself a day and the month. That's perfectly fine, but making sure that you're really specific as far as like the metric that you're providing yourself. A would be attainable. So just making sure that you're setting very realistic milestones for you to attain that goal. And it starts with the goal itself. Like if you make $30,000 a year, and you want to make a goal to save a certain amount of money every month, telling yourself to save $250 per month is probably not the most realistic for your lifestyle, right? Depending on how much debt you have, the type of bills that you have, it may be attainable if you're, living at home, don't really have a lot of bills, you're younger, maybe in school or whatever. That may be a little bit easier than someone that's making $30,000 and has 2 kids, that's a single parent, that's supporting themselves. So just making sure that you're evaluating your whole situation and setting your goals to be very realistic to your lifestyle. So just keep that in mind when making these goals. Set yourself a realistic and attainable goal, and then also realistic and attainable milestones or action items behind that goal. So the next area is R, so relevant. Making sure the action items that you're putting on yourself are relevant to the actual goal. Making sure that you have a narrow tunnel on that goal, and the action items are only specific to that and not just distractions. So just be careful of that. And then T is time bound, more so of just making sure that you can track it, making sure that this is something that you can just hold yourself accountable and be able to track what's happening and whether you're on target for that goal. Okay, number 4, go into action. This is the fun part. You get to take all of the information that you've gathered from your research, from your planning, from your brainstorming session. You take all of that information now and you get to actually start putting those things into action. So for one, just make sure everything is written out. Make sure you have like a goal planner of some sort. Doesn't have to be fancy, just can be just a regular notebook. I actually have notebooks for different areas. So I do have my financial, actually I have a whole financial binder. Yeah, I'm really specific, but I've been working really hard on my finances. So, I have a financial binder that has all of my financial information in it. And it has my whole plan in there, and as things get done, I check them off. And I would have to say all of the action items financially that I had at the beginning of the year have already been checked off. So I am excited. I've met all of my financial goals this year, which is exciting. So the way that what really helps me is being able to go back to that plan and check it off once it's completed. One, for me, I feel like checklists are really fulfilling for me as far as like making sure that I'm hitting all of these goals that I have set for myself. I don't know, it gives me some type of something when I check off and make a check mark next to something I set for myself. So definitely if you're a to-do list or check mark person or checklist person, definitely give yourself a checklist in all of the different areas so that way you can go back and see what you wrote and check off, what you've done and what you've completed. So yeah, I would definitely recommend writing this all down. But then also when you go into action, make sure that you prioritize what's most important for you. It may be very difficult to go into all of these different areas of your life and try to attack each goal in each area. So definitely make sure to prioritize what's most important in that moment and pace yourself. You may get to a certain point where you're like, okay, like I, met several goals in my finances. Now I want to switch to my family goals, or now I want to switch to my physical goals, or now I want to switch to my mental health goals. To be honest, when it comes to mental health, I think that should be consistent. But if you need to pace yourself in the beginning, that's perfectly okay. So focus on what's most important to you, and then, work your way through from there. Okay, so set realistic milestones. So my milestones are typically 1 month, 3 months, 6 months, a year, 3 years, and then 5 years. And that covers both my short-term and long-term goals, and of course your life-term goals thereafter. But yeah, so make sure to set realistic milestones, and give yourself these timelines to meet these goals or these action items that you're trying to meet. Also, I feel like it's important to create a personal mission statement. I know it seems really corporate and weird, but I think when it comes to, especially in the beginning, when you're trying to really establish what you want, creating a personal mission statement and then having your goals fall under that mission statement definitely can help, as far as one, giving you the motivation from the beginning, because your personal mission statement is definitely going to have your passions in there, but also to just making sure that you stay on track with what you need and what you want personally. So I'm going to share my personal mission statement with you. I definitely want to add more to it. This is what I started. Actually, it's something I did at work. They had us come up with our personal mission statements. So let me share that with you guys. Okay, so my mission statement is: I am one who sparks creativity, compassion, and ambition in the hearts and minds of myself and others. So that's my personal mission statement. It definitely speaks to me as a person. It definitely speaks to me as my industry. I'm in recruiting. And then it also really speaks to just me mentally, spiritually, and emotionally. I always am the helper. I'm always known as the helper. I'm always one to kind of, put my hands to work. So definitely fits me. Thinking about adding more. Make sure to share your personal mission statements if you have one. I would love to read those in the comments. If you don't have one, make sure to create one. I think it doesn't hurt to do one or to create one. And if you don't mind, share them in the comments as well. I would love to read those. Also, if you're a visual person, make sure to do a vision board. It definitely is helpful. I've created one recently, and it definitely has been helpful for me to be able to just visually see that day to day. I have it actually posted in my bathroom on the back of my door. So anytime I go to the bathroom and close my door, I see my vision board. So definitely, if you really feel like you're a visual person, it really is great to have a vision board, and update that on a consistent basis. Okay, so number 5, don't let up. Very important. Most important. Don't let up. Don't give up. There's going to be plenty of instances where you're going to start going through these actionable items and it may be a little bit more difficult than you thought. When you get to that point, definitely don't change your goal right away. Make sure that you check your actionable items first. Maybe you kind of overestimated the actionable items, whether it be the timing or the item itself. So reevaluate your actionable items. If they don't work, that's perfectly okay. It just means that you need to think of other awesome, creative ways to reach that goal. Don't automatically think that your goal is trash. Like, don't automatically think that. It's more so of how you get to that goal. It may take you a couple of different ways to get there. stay at it and keep at it, and don't give up. Adjust your actionable items as necessary. That happens consistently with me and my goals. Like there's sometimes I'm like, oh, I got overestimated. Like there's no way I would have been able to meet this goal in this short time frame. So just change it up. It doesn't necessarily mean you have to change that goal. And then also too, if you do use positive affirmations, find positive affirmations that make sense for your goal. And use those consistently, especially if it's a goal that you're prioritizing in that moment. Also, make sure to seek feedback, especially when it comes to industry or career specific goals that you have set for yourself. Use your manager, use your coworkers, use the people around you that are successful in that career or in that industry for advice or feedback. Very important. If you have a mentor, if it's something that's not necessarily that you're doing for your current job, but something that you're aspiring to be, if you have a mentor or someone that you're working with in that industry, also seek advice from them. Or just people around you that you can seek advice from, that you trust and that you know that's going to give you great advice. Also, just remember that goal setting is an ongoing process. Whatever document that you're using to, plan these goals out, it's a living document. You can change it, you can alter it. You can push up your goals, you can push back your goals. It's perfectly okay. It's simply for you to be able to manage and track everything. Make sure you use that document to hold yourself accountable for those goals, and to continuously track yourself. If you know that you're not going to necessarily stay on top of yourself, recruit other people, recruit your friends, recruit your family, to hold you accountable for certain areas, and just give them the okay to get up in your behind if you're not meeting the goals that you need to be meeting. So definitely make sure that you find a way to hold yourself accountable and track yourself. And last but not least, make sure you celebrate your success. If you have gone through this process, set your goals, set your action items, and actually met those items or that goal, reward yourself. Give yourself little treats. Like I am one to treat myself once I meet a specific goal and have fun with it, guys. Like if it could be some small reward, it could be a big reward, but just make sure to reward yourself in some sort of way because you have made an accomplishment. And it doesn't matter how small or how big that accomplishment is, make sure to reward yourself and give yourself a pat on the back, because there's a lot of people out here that aren't meeting any goals. They're just meandering through life. Okay? So make sure you reward yourself. Okay, so that's it, guys. That's all I have for you. I hope this is all very helpful as you go through the process of setting goals. And regardless of whether you're just starting to set your goals or if you're resetting your goals, I hope this is all helpful to you. Again, make sure to subscribe. Make sure to hit that notification button. And I will see you all next week. Thank you so much. Talk to you soon. Bye.